Hey guys, it's Little Rocker Cutie 2005, also known as Andre, back again with you guys to do another review here on Late Night Frights. It is Tuesday. Chris Brock and I have switched days again. Normally my day is Wednesdays and he does Tuesdays, but I don't mind switching every so often. But this week is a killer clown theme, and I chose to review Stephen King's It. And it's the killer clown movie I probably know the most about, and I do have a history with it. So I'm going to start with that before I get into my review. Basically, I was probably like 6 years old, and I remember seeing Poltergeist on TV, and the part where the toy clown comes to life and attacks the brother before, stuff starts hitting the fan and everything goes all crazy near the end of the movie scared the hell out of me. 1 to 2 weeks later, It premieres on ABC, the same channel in my area that has shown Poltergeist. So, if I remember correctly, my bedtime was like 8:30, and I can remember like getting up because I wanted a drink or something, and I just remember seeing this clown with like these these really sharp teeth. Like, it was, I don't know if it was like the first half or the second half of the movie because it was a mini-series, so I don't remember which part it was, but I just remember that basically Pennywise scared the hell out of me once again, which pretty much ruined my image of clowns. Now, I will say, I don't mind happy clowns, but most clowns, and I'll openly admit this, clowns scare me. I can't explain why. I think it was because of the combination of Poltergeist and It at 6 years old, ruining my image. But anyways, It is the story of these 6 kids, and they live in a town called Derry, Maine, which Derry is in the state of Maine, and they're basically dealing with this killer clown named Pennywise. And you have the lead, who is, his name is, Bill. Yeah, that's right. His name's Bill. And his brother is killed by Pennywise in the opening of the movie. And basically you start out with the one who stayed behind. He's like the only black guy in the movie. His name was, his name was Mike. And it basically starts out where, a kid was killed by Pennywise, and he finds a picture of Bill's brother. So he starts making calls to all his friends who basically survived. And so, he's telling them that it's come back, and they all have to come back and fight this thing. So the first half of the movie, you basically see them as kids, and they're basically, trying to figure out, what Pennywise is, why he's doing this, and basically why he's terrorizing them and trying to kill them. And so, throughout the first half, like I said, they're trying to figure out what it is and why it's doing what it's doing. And basically, near the end of the first half, they go into the sewers, where they have this little hangout near a creek, and a little bit off to the side from where they hang out is an entrance to the sewers, which is where it lives. It lives in the sewers. And so, basically near the end of the first half, they go into the sewers to basically just try and destroy it. But what they do is they basically just knock it out. And so, and they find out in the second half that it comes back every 30 years to basically feed. It kills kids to feed. And so, for the second half, I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry. But at the end of the first half, they make a pact that if it comes back, they're going to come back and destroy it for good. And so that's basically the second half, is them coming back and then basically, getting back together and figuring out, what to do to destroy it for good. And so, with the first half, you have this group of bullies that have been kind of like terrorizing them throughout the whole first half, and they're also in the sewers in the first half trying to kill them to make sure like they don't come out because of there's a scene where they're picking on them, and the 6 kids all throw rocks at them to basically get them to leave them alone. And so they go into the sewers to try and kill these kids because they're just pissed off. They're just bullies in general. And so, like, 2 of the bullies get killed, and then the other one is left just in a state of shock with, like, white hair because he's seen what you find out in the second half is called the deadlights. And so throughout the second half, the bully who survived, he was in a mental institution, and he basically found a way to get out, and he attacks Mike and leaves him hospitalized. So basically, the other 5 have to go in and stop it for good. But you find out near the end of the first half that once the last person was called, the character Stan, who as a kid is played by a young Seth Green. And you basically find out at the end of the first half that he's killed himself because he doesn't want to go back and face it. And so, with the second half, with Mike being hospitalized, there's only 4 of them going in to face it and destroy it for good. Which, I won't give many spoilers, but basically, they do destroy it for good, and they make it out, but sadly, one of them does die. And I won't reveal who it is. You know who it is if you've seen the movie, and I'm pretty sure that whoever's watching this has probably seen this movie like I have. And so, but it was actually based on a book, and I found out some things about the book from talking to one of my friends on YouTube known as the Kid of Awesome. There's actually a scene in the book where, and this is pretty heavy and pretty shocking, where to kind of seal their pact, as kids, to seal their pact, the one girl has sex with all the boys. And so that's their way of sealing their pact in the book. And I've never read the book, but I would love to read it just to figure out the differences from the miniseries. And I know it's being remade and coming out next year as, I think, a 2-part movie. I'm not sure on that, but I'm kind of interested in seeing this remake that they're gonna do, but I'm also kind of not, because you have an amazing cast in the miniseries. I mean, you have I think his name is Richard Anderson, who is known as John Boy on the Waltons. You have John Ritter. You have Annette O'Toole. For the kids, you have a young Jonathan Brandis. You have, like I mentioned, Seth Green. It's just an amazing cast. And it's one of those movies that, even though it's made me scared of clowns, I do enjoy watching it, but the second half is just one of those, it's just one of those that kind of leaves you like scratching your head, because the first half is so good, and then the second half just kind of drops. And as much as I love it, I mainly only watch the first half, and it's just one of those movies where, like I said, I am scared of clowns, but I don't know why I find myself going back to this movie. Maybe it's because it was part of my childhood, and even though I was afraid of clowns, I watched it a lot. Like I said, I can't explain it, but I hope you enjoyed my review. I tried to do the best I could because I haven't watched it in a long time, but I do have a history with it, so I do know a lot about it. Once again, I am Little Rocker Cutie 2005, also known as Andre, telling you to enjoy life, enjoy some skills, enjoy some Starburst. Keep it forever horror, guys, and in the immortal words of my faithful partner Chris, or Buffy Xenaman on my channel, he always says, eat some chicken, peace out, and I'll see you guys next week on Late Night Frights. Bye, guys!